morning, YouTube. Alright. Still in the brain fog. It's early as fuck in the morning. Give you a trucker view. And you can see now why I'm always not looking at the phone. Valid reasons. Anywho, clear road, clear mind for the most part. But Captain's Vlog, episode 5, notifying and understanding what you want in life. And this is for me as well as for you, or anybody that likes it, tunes in, vibes with it, eventually vibes with it. I don't know. I've done music on SoundCloud, and it started off the same way, then it started kicking off, and then I just dropped it. But so I have to act like a lot of people could see this. Same shit, same scenario, same with Instagram and whatnot. But really, this is just for the general people that, you know, everybody does comparisons. So here's a good comparison. Everything, as I always say, is spiritual. You're in a spiritual battle. You're in a spiritual world. And you're always being spiritually monitored. And there's people that are spiritually against you. We can call them demons. We can call them whatever. These are wicked people. They're always being observed. These people are they are everything that is opposite of God. Patience. They're impatient. Love. They're hateful. They're angst. They're angry. They're uneasy. They're not smooth. They don't connect properly. Nothing rolls right with these people. And the more you let them into life, the more you let these things into your life. Yes, you may temporarily be around them. They may temporarily cause angst in your energy. But darkness has no place in light. You could have a shitload of dark. You can just do a little bit of spark and it'll light a flee. Same thing with hateful, you know, all the things that are basically opposite of God. So now that I prefaced it, I'm going to drop down what it is for today. Woke up. This motherfucker from yesterday was complaining. Hey, you're going the wrong direction. I didn't even know I had a direction to go. You didn't tell me anything. The boss and the dispatcher are running on this. But I'm realizing a lot of people run on this program. It's not just me. I have my own family say, hey, it seems like you're dealing with a lot of it. But yes, because a lot of you are like this. If you can't usurp control over me and fuck my life over, you're going to try to throw pain my way. And if I catch on before you get to throw pain, you're going to throw a tantrum and you're going to go crazy. You're going to just try to siphon those creatures are going to try to siphon energy wherever they can. Like, okay, we'll get them frustrated. Since he already has solutions for the money thing and job thing, we'll get them frustrated. We'll get them, okay, we can't get him frustrated. We'll fuck with his money. Oh, he already has a plan. We're going to, this is how these people function. Like, that's their whole MO. And for the hive mind people, the backdrop people, the NPCs, you're never going to notice this. But for the spiritual ones, this is for y'all. If you do notice this, you're obviously spirited, and the things you do in your life actually do matter in comparison to the backdrop people. 2, not only your actions matter, but your reactions matter. Your thought process, your planning, your feelings actually do matter. That's why they attack it so much. Feeling great in spite of what they have in mind for you, what you think they have in mind for you. They're not that powerful. None of these NPCs are. Really, if you doubt it, I know it takes a little bit of faith, but take all your attention back from them for a week, from all NPCs. First, you're going to have to get good at identifying all NPCs. And I'm going to give you another hint. But take all your energy back from them and watch how they act. Watch how their life falls. Or like you check back in with them after a week and see how bad their life gotten when you just step away. Remove your attention is removing your hand. and removing God's energy from. They're stealing God's energy that's imbued in you, spirited ones, and they're using it to create a dystopia for all of us, including them. I know it's weird. There's books and other people that can probably articulate it way better than I can. But, you know, I'm doing everything on the fly. So, something about archons and motherfuckers feeding off of spiritual energy. And if they feed off negative spiritual energy, they really are disgusted by positive and good spiritual energy. Oh, fucking thing went from cruise to stopping it. I must be doing something right. Anyway, they must be disgusted by faith, strength, love, all these other energies that they're not intended to feeding off. That and preparation and everything, your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings all have to align off that, because they feed on all these things. These like spiritual adrenochrome drinkers. But anywho, I digress to the main point. So he's like, all right, you need to go the opposite direction. Not telling me how far, didn't tell me the address. I just got it last minute. The company doesn't want to pay me any decent layover for the 12 hours I sat there waiting to get unloaded. The hive-minded people there were laughing and making jokes about me sitting all day and wasting all day and basically losing money, which is all strategic. But I have an answer for that. And when I figured out the answer while I was waiting, I'm not going to divulge this. I'm not going to divulge any of this until it's all complete and done. But while I was sitting there waiting, then I was getting callbacks. Then I was getting attentiveness. When I don't, and I've dealt with this with women. I've dealt with this with fake-ass friends. I've dealt with this definitely with family. And I'm definitely dealing with this with jobs. Apply it where it fits. But it's not that they need you or even want you. You're a food source, a spiritual food source. And your slow demise is the game. Now, I stumbled across this because I'm not scared, nor am I scared of NPCs. And I've always had a do or die mentality, even if I'm overpowered and outnumbered in any situation. And that doesn't make a good food source, spiritually speaking, or even any kind of victim speaking, because it's like, all right, cool, you're opposing me. All right, fine. I'm not in fear. One of us are gonna die right here, right now. Who is it? and that is not the nature of the Matrix. So, and by that standard, I figured out a lot of things that are spiritually happening. And with that said calculation, I woke up, went to go fuel. I thought I was about 100 miles out. It's actually more than that, or whatever time I'm supposed to travel to it. He calls me, he's like, hey, how far? I don't know how far. You just realized last night where I was and what direction I was going, and then you try to tell me, hey, how far are you? What's your ETA? Don't you know? You know, you just called me yesterday saying I was in some random direction, and then you tried to use negative energy to create an argument after you know. Like, you have information you could have helped me with, but you didn't. Like, you set me up for failure, then you set me up for emotional energy failure. I'm not, and then he tries to, I'm like, hey, oh, well, you know this. I'm like, look, I'm not here to argue with you. I told this bitch ass, you need to go find somebody else. I'm not the one. You need to go, this is too morning. He's like, I don't know what it is. I don't care. You're going to deal with it from here. I'm not the one. Like, you wouldn't do this to me in my face. I ain't never, and yet forever. Actually, I've never had a motherfucker be a male genitalia bitch in my face with the energy they're trying. So why do it over the phone? You feel real comfortable, and I don't care if you're big. I'll break your shit. I know it doesn't matter. I've done it to bigger motherfuckers. Sizes matter, but I know that'll never happen because it's demonic possession. It's like these people aren't mentally there. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe they're like, no, you set the shit up and then you created the problem that you're bitching about. What do you gain from this? Because your job is to make money. Why would you sabotage yourself in a situation and then you're more invested in negative energy than actual money? So I minimize, if not completely eradicate all negative energy. And then that's when all these people, the company, people around me, people I'm delivering to, all simultaneously, within the last week, started acting even more crazy. And then I'm finding ways to do and replace them because you have no purpose. You're only a negative leech, a negative energy leech. You have no purpose in my life. So I'm going to replace you. And I should have learned this and stuck with it. What I've learned from my younger years, really quick, get you out of my life ASAP. And that's the kind of message I want to pass on to people. You will never benefit from people or seek drama, seek trouble, seek everything but wisdom and wise, seek everything but progression. You'll never get anything from them. It doesn't, I know I say only white people, but it's not only white people. I mean, I do say often it's white people, which it is, but it's not only white people. Correction. It could be of any race. It usually is of every race. But it's a hive mind mentality that's going on. It's a lot of technicalities. It's like a lot of yes and no's combined at the same time. And with that hive mind mentality, these people are led to damnation. You, my friend, and whoever's watching this YouTube channel, need to take this into consideration and discard all these negative motherfuckers. And the final point on discarding it, when I was fueling earlier this morning, probably an hour ago maybe, right before we got on the call, I was calling him. He texted me. I'm like, all right, cool. They're never ready for face-to-face or more direct. That's why text messages are so big. It's for the most part, the most indirect way to communicate. And that's why I hate it. You can't feel their energy. You don't know who's behind that another line. You don't know what's what. But he texts, hey, what's your ETA? I'm like, nigga, that's a lot of confusion. And you'll understand from what I said previously in this video. Alright, I just call him. He lets it ring all the way until I get to the counter and I start paying for fuel. And he's like, hey, what's up? He answers in the most impromptu time. He calls in the most impromptu time. I had other things to do at the truck stop right at that exact moment. And he called, which distracted me to get my attention off of my new progression and onto his distraction, him. And it's these little small shifts that are changing my life drastically. But if I would have forgot, it'd have been troublesome and hard. That's the point. I could sound like I'm nagging, but I'm not nagging. I'm actually putting at a point that these creatures, they have spiritual awareness or some other kind of awareness to know when and how to interrupt, disrupt, and move you off your attention and your focus and your aim and your goal and make you miss the mark. That's what sin means in definition, to miss the mark. And make you miss the mark. That's why you have to place them in their proper category, which is in the trash bin in your mind, and eventually, as quickly as possible, move them to that trash bin. These people are trash. I'm not saying this out of anger. Literally, they're literal trash. I can predict his future and I predicted other people's future and went back and I saw I was right. Actually, they were worse off than my prediction. I can predict people's futures far into the future. I say they're NPCs, but I think, as my other saying, they're fucking demonic meat suits. Like, their only purpose is to destroy and distract. Anyways, back to the story, and to finish it off, he called, and they answer when they want, they call when they want. He wasn't ready for the communication. They did everything they do is for disruption. So everything you must do for yourself, also before I continue on, must be for progression and making them dismount off your dick. Like throwing salt on these slugs and these leeches and getting them to fuck off you. Like, trust me, there's weird people out there. There's long histories of weird people out there. And we forget about them because they're like cockroaches. They're in the shadows. But they're there. They are there. Jesus, they are there. But to finish off what I was saying, when he answered, right when I was trying to fuel up and talk to the guy, took off my headset, threw it on the counter, let this motherfucker call, made him wait. He's oh, you can hear me now? They're playing these weird phone tag games. Yeah, what's up, man? I'm not entertaining your shit. And then even after this, he'll forget it and he'll mind reset the next time we speak and be like, oh, like it never happened. You have to remember how retarded these people are and keep them where they're at. I've done this with family. It works wonders. Do this with anybody. As soon as they throw themselves that red flag, one red flag, and give them as many opportunities too. And throw their bitch ass out the window. That's if you love your life. If you don't love your life, or if you're an NPC just like them, disregard my whole channel. You probably shouldn't even be watching it. And I don't expect many to watch, just like many Chosen One channels compared to all the other bullshit and all the other information out on the internet. They're minuscule because very few people really give a fuck about wisdom or progression. But if this does resonate with you, take heed on the most smallest things that happen in your life, because the devil is in the details. Like and subscribe. Holla at me.